Okay, so Sunday night, Fox Network decided to release an old interview that they had done with O.J. Simpson. This interview was taped and set to air back in 2006, but there was a lot of people who just wasn't here for this interview being aired, and it was pulled from the network's schedule to be aired. And now, fast forward to 2018, they now decided to release the tape. The interview was supposed to be in promotion for his book, and the interview was basically a quote-unquote hypothetical of if he killed Nicole and Ron Goldman. A lot of people take this as to be an actual confession because a lot of the times when he's speaking, he doesn't say, like hypothetically this. He refers to himself as I did this, I did that. And then also he talks about a guy named Charlie being at the scene of the crime. And a lot of people are thinking that Charlie and OJ is the same person, like he's referring to himself in an alter ego type scenario. The first clip I'm going to play for you is from a lady by the name of Judith Regan. She was the publisher of this If I Did It book, and she decided to, detail how the book came about.
I received a phone call from an attorney who said that OJ was ready to confess. And the next day I called him back and he said he was willing to do it. And the only condition that he had was that he didn't want to call the book I Did It. He wanted to put an if in front of it so that he would have deniability with his children.
So the next clip I'm going to play for you, it's basically OJ describing how he got on the scene of the crime and how he came to know that pretty much there was a man there. He talks about a guy named Charlie, and a lot of people are speculating that Charlie is his alter ego. Here goes.
In the book, the hypothetical is
Charlie pulls out.
Charlie came by and mentioned something about what was going on at her house. This guy Charlie shows up, the guy who I had recently become friends with. I don't know why you had been by Nicole's house, but it told me you wouldn't believe what's going on over there. And I remember thinking, well, whatever's going on over there has got to stop.
Okay, so the next clip that I'm going to play for you is the confrontation in detail, how it started, him calling Ron Goldman out, pretty much sizing him up, things like that. Here goes the clip.
Things got heated. I just remember Nicole fell and hurt herself. And this guy kind of got into a karate thing. And I said, well, you think you can kick my ass? And I remember I grabbed a knife. I do remember that portion, taking a knife from Charlie. And to be honest, after that, I don't remember, except I'm standing there and there's all kind of stuff around and
What kind of stuff?
blood and stuff around. I hate to say this, but this is hypothetical. I'm sorry.
Okay, and upon hearing this, there was some interesting points of views that people had. I'm going to read one comment that I came across. Let's be real. Most black people don't give a fuck if OJ did it then or now. The only reason so many black people were happy he was acquitted is because they felt Rodney King was deprived of justice 3 years early. So when OJ got off, it was like some kind of warped victory for black people. OJ Simpson was the epitome of a coon. He threw black people away in the late 70s and early 80s and didn't look back until white people realized he wasn't the good little house nigga they thought he was. This also explains why they ain't never letting that shit go. He is a black man who was acquitted of killing a white woman and lived to tell the tale. Back in the day, they would have just strung his ass up by a tree, but instead they went through the justice system, and for the first time, for white people, that shit didn't work in their favor. So, there was a lot of interesting points of view around this case. And it's crazy because some people think that he is a legend. Even, I was reading some comments and some people were like, oh, OJ is legend. And then to my surprise, some people were appalled that, people were still questioning whether or not he did it because the glove didn't fit. Like a lot of people were still like, even hearing this, people were still like, he's not guilty. The glove didn't fit, like still defending him and everything like that. Okay, and here's OJ describing the whole glove situation. And like I said, people just still don't believe it. They're like, it didn't fit. Why are we still on this? Like, why are we still talking about this? Here goes the clip.
You know, I had no conscious memory of doing that, but obviously I must have because they found the glove there.
And blacking out. Have you ever blacked out before?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
No. Of course, if something like this would take place in anybody's life, if it were to happen, I would imagine it's something that you would probably automatically have trouble wrapping your mind around it.
But let's go on to the next clip. In this next clip, he's basically describing the scene, how bloody it was, and things like that. Here goes.
I don't think any two people could be murdered the way they were without everybody being covered in blood. And of course, I think we've all seen the grisly pictures after. So yeah, I think everything would have been covered in blood.
Okay, so I'm going to read another interesting comment that I came across regarding the clips from this interview. And it says, it was proven that they tainted and planted evidence in the trial. It was proven that the lead detective was an open white supremacist who had previously admitted to planting evidence on black suspects. And he pleaded the fifth under oath and was convicted of perjury in trial. It was proven that Nicole was a bonehead who hung around other druggies, criminals, and mafia guys. It's fact that Nicole's sister was dating a mafia hitman at the time, and he is currently under federal protection for being a witness for the feds. People call OJ jealous, but the crime does not play out as a jealousy killing. It plays out as a hit. Plus, Nicole had been begging for OJ to come back. Why would he be jealous if the woman he's supposedly jealous of is begging him to come back? That makes no sense. Plus, the police did not investigate the suspicious murders that happened around the time with people associated with the club that Goldman worked at and that Nicole frequented, which was a known drug spot and mafia hangout. Okay, so, there is a lot of interesting dialogue surrounding this interview. Like I said, a lot of people believe he did it, and a lot of people think that he didn't do it, and they're not falling for this whole hypothetical scenario. They don't think that this is a confession. I'm going to play a couple more clips, and then, of course, at the end, recap with you guys.
If you're angry with somebody about whatever's going on in your life, when they die, it's not like that anger disappears. It was almost like I want to say, I told you, didn't I tell you? It's whatever the hell was going on, what I mean? Didn't I? So you still got those kind of feelings in you, and you still are trying to deal with, I'm not going to be able to say this to this person. I'm never going to be able to change this person's mind. I'm never going to have an effect on this person again.
Okay, and as you all know, he was acquitted of all charges. He was not found guilty on the murder, and double jeopardy applies. He cannot be charged again for the murder, even if he confesses now, because he's already been acquitted and he has already been found not guilty. Okay, so here's pretty much the definition of double jeopardy. The Fifth Amendment to the Constitution states that no person shall be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. The double jeopardy clause bars second prosecutions after either acquittal or conviction and prohibits multiple punishments for the same offense. So even if he really is talking in the first person and passing it off as hypothetical and he's really admitting to the murder, he can never ever be charged for it. And that's another reason why when he went to go steal his stuff back in Vegas, a lot of people thought that that sentence was punishment for the murder of Nicole, being that he got such a harsh sentence for just basically getting his stuff back. Somebody stole his stuff, he went to go get it back. You know what I'm saying? He got a little gangster on him, but it was his stuff nonetheless. So a lot of people felt like because that's the reason why he got such a harsh sentence for getting his stuff back. What do you guys think? Do you think that he killed her? Do you think that he didn't kill her? Do you think that he was just pretty much just messing with people's heads? A lot of people in the comments that I'm reading across the internet are like half and half still, even with him talking about it and things like that. Some people are saying, I don't believe he did it. Some people are saying he did do it, that this is a confession. So what do you guys think about the whole trial, this whole confession of this hypothetical scenario of if OJ did it or not? Let's talk about it in the comments. All right, guys, that's all for this video. Stay tuned for more celebrity news and gossip. But in order to do that, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button right now. Don't wait. Do it right now. All right, guys. Peace.